Yo guys, what's going on? It's Duel Unlocked here, and the KC Cup is finally over. We were so close to that top 100, one game away, but unfortunately, we fell just a little bit short. But that being said, we do know a lot about this KC Cup meta. I'm going to talk about what decks I think should get hit, what decks will get hit, and some extra bans that I wouldn't mind seeing, but here we go. First off, we're going to go and take a look at the tier list on Duel Links meta. We're going to see where we go from there. So we're going to start off with Resonators, Go to Salads, and Predaplant, Geminis, Heroes, Leerless, Subterrors, and there's a few extra decks here. So first off, by taking a look at Resonators, you can see this is a Resonator list, second place in the Duel Links Grand Prix. You can see their first thing we're going to address is we're going to put Bow and Archfiend to limit 2. Now you might be wondering, Bow and Archfiend is new, so would they put it to limit 2? I think they would. It's only a rare card. And this will also, it makes you still want to play 3 Resonator Call, 3 Crimson Resonator, so those are, Konami can still get people to get 3 of each of those. But then it also probably wants you to play an extra copy of Soul Resonators, so you can play 2 to 3 Soul Resonators, and you probably play the 3rd Soul Resonator instead. Or a Wild Wind, potentially. That's another possibility. And then, like, this card is pretty insane for the recursion and stuff, so I think hitting this to 2 would actually do pretty well for that. Not, like, super crazy, but it is a new deck, so I don't think they'll go too hard on it. The other hit that I have for Resonators is going to be Tuning Gum to limit 3. So with Tuning Gum to limit 3, I think that they'll probably either choose to play 1 less Crimson Gaia, or they choose to play 3 Crimson Gaia, no Tuning Gum. But Tuning Gum does make the deck a lot stronger, because even in the mirror match, the Fiendish Golem, it just destroys Fiendish Golem, it destroys Fiendish Chain. So I think this card going to limited would make some sense. So then we go on to the other tier 1 deck, which is going to be Salamangreats. I think there wasn't as much Salamangreats because it was harder to pilot, but I think the deck is still insanely strong. The skill hit did do some damage, but I think it's still going to be super high up there. So I'm going to say Jaguar to limit 3. So this would make it to where they have to only run one Jaguar, and 2 Salamangreat Circles. Salamangreat Circle is old enough, I think, to where you could put it to 2. So I think I like that. And then an extra 1, potentially, or either that, or Salamangreat Recurrence. There's too many salad cards, my goodness, there's too many salad cards. I think we could put Recurrence onto the list. So we'll put Recurrence onto limit 2. This card is insane. It can then compete with Hollowed Life Barrier as well as Paro. So that's going to be good for them, because this card, they definitely want to run at least 1 copy of this, so they'll take out a copy of Hollowed or Paro. So I think that is a pretty good hit as well. And then with Jaguar to limit 3, they can run 1 Jaguar and 2 Circles, so it takes out 2 cards from the deck, basically, for the consistency purposes, and I think that's fine. Potentially it'll make them run less hand traps as well for more engine. So that is going to be what I have for Salamangreats. Now we're going to move on to Predaplant. I honestly don't think Predaplant did too crazy this KC Cup. I think the meta wasn't that great for them, but I think if they're gonna, so I'm not gonna put anything like super insane here. I think the thing I'm gonna do for Predaplants is we're gonna put Predaponics, this card here, as well as Darlington Cobra into limit 2. So the reason why is this means that they'll probably play 1 Cobra, 1 Predaponics. It doesn't like change the deck list that much. But that means that if you hit the Cobra, that's a lot more impactful because they only have 1 of them. Cobra's also a reward from the Yuri raid drop event, so it definitely is potentially hit, and Predaponics is a normal from like way, way, way long ago. So I definitely could see that happening. Now we're gonna go into the next deck, which is Geminis. Now I think I have the perfect hit for Geminis here, and that's gonna, you guys will see here in a second. So Geminis, here's the top 4 lists. A lot of them are running Rhoda, some of them are running the Gravity. No one's running Gravity Axe in this deck. But the thing that I think would make the most sense to me would be hitting. Let's go for Supervise. Supervise to limit 1. So with Supervise at limit 1, that means they can't play Rhoda, so that will limit the consistency, as well as then they can't do a few other things, I believe. It will make them want to go in for more copies of this, I think. Maybe not, but it's an interesting hit. Getting rid of Rhoda would be nice. Gemini Spark is another thing there for limit the consistency a bit. Oh yeah, they do. Some of them do play Gravity Axe. Okay, I thought so. But yeah, this is another card that you want to compete with. So I think, yeah, you can see the Supervise and the Gravity Axe. I think hitting Rhoda would be, not Rhoda, but the Supervise to limit 1 would be probably the best hit. It's a card trader card and acquired with tickets, so I think it makes perfect sense. So now we're gonna go into the next one, which is gonna be Heroes. Honestly, guys, you guys might not like this, but I think Heroes are probably not gonna get hit. The only thing that you could see maybe getting hit is like the Necro Valley or the Different Dimension Ground, which if this card gets hit, then so be it, I guess. But I'm not gonna predict it. I could predict it to get hit, but this isn't gonna be like our... Alright, yeah, you know what? They already have a limit. Do they have a limit 2? They don't have a limit 2. Yeah, I'm not gonna predict any of the floodgates to get hit quite, because like the thing with the floodgates are, they're really good going first, but going second, it's like whatever, right? So if you have to like go first for them to work, so I'm not gonna predict that. So Heroes escaped this ban list, which I think is gonna be crazy, but I think it's gonna happen. Now, the big one that I know everyone wants nerfed is gonna be, but it might not get hit again, is gonna be Lyrilisk. Lyrilisk is probably one of the most annoying decks to face off against, for sure. They already have a limit 3, they already have a limit 2, they already have a limit 1, but yet they're still getting top 100. So, I think the hit that I would do, it's gonna be a slight hit, but I think it makes some sense, is to put, not Bird Call, but Bird Sanctuary. Bird Sanctuary to limit 3. It's not great for the hit, but it does hit them a little bit to where they can only play 2 Canaries. Canary's the most annoying card because it's unrespondable to. You have the, like you can't Baylor it. You can't, I mean you could Crow, but Crow's like the only thing that stops it. Dropless is also like the only answer to Birds almost as well. So there's also that. So, and then when Birds have Droplets as well, their deck, like, and they go second, it's basically GG's. So hopefully they get a little bit of a hit, if not a bigger hit. I'll take a bigger hit as well. So that's gonna be that. Then we're gonna take a look at our sub-terrors. So for sub-terrors, we're gonna put in... Alright, first of all, they can play Super Poly, which I find is insane. So I think we definitely have to give them a limit 1 between Terraforming and Super Poly. So with the limit 1, I'm thinking we go for Umostrix, but the one that I want hit more than Umostrix is probably, let's see, this one right here. Ultra famous or whatever. No, it's not ultra famous, but let's put that in. Ultramophis. So this card to limit 1, but if it's not that card, then it will be the other behemoth, which would be the... Oh, there's a lot of sub-tier behemoths, this one. So this one, it's either or for this, but I want this one more than the other one. So now we're gonna go ahead and... So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits. The last one that I think for Dex, and then I'll get on to some extra hits here. The one that I'm gonna say here is going to be Floor. And the fact is, I think Floor Dinos were pretty insane. And there's one card I think that can turn down the power level of the deck just a bit. And that's gonna be Boost Warrior. If Boost Warrior gets hit to 1, I think it's no one would care other than like the floor players. So I think it's completely fine to put this card at limit 1 as well. It basically enables them to go super crazy with floor, so I'm down to see that happen. And alright, now for the extra hits. So Subterrors have already have a limit 3, but let's see real quick. Yeah, Subterrors already have the Hidden City limit 3, but I think another hit that would be great to limit the consistency a bit would be to hit Auto Duality. So this is my extra hits. By the way, that I would like to see happen. So first off, Pot of Duality, so this is more of a wish list. So Pot of, for the last bit, Pot of Duality, limit 3, and then this card, or, like this card would be nice to see limit 3. I don't see this one happening, especially because it's a selection box. This one's the definite wish list to put the period at limit 3, but I don't see that happening, unfortunately. That one's a wish list. So, is there anything else that I have? I believe that is all of my hits. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Would this be good enough ban list for you guys? Or would you guys like to see more? So, hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. I'll catch you guys next time.